right?
All right, start again. It just started recording.
Okay. Okay, now we're live. Okay. Now I'm all camera shy. So you've been recording a lot. We talking a lot. So we kind of already went through most of the questions. We left off part 2.
Question 5?
Part 2, question 3. Yeah, part 2, question 3.
Oh, okay. I thought we were a little funny. Because I thought we just talked about 3. But all right, let's go ahead. So.
What?
Go ahead, Rachel.
Wait. Oh yeah, we're at 5. So, part 2, question 5. What does John Skipper, ESPN president, mean when he answered yes to the question, do we hire the majority or the person who is most qualified? Do you believe this is the right approach to hiring for diversity? Well, I was talking about before being hung up on. I would say no. I think everybody should give the opportunity to prove themselves, because the people that are most qualified already proved themselves because they were given the opportunity. Like I was telling Dee that I had this one job interview where somebody told me they found somebody else more qualified, and I'm just reflecting from what I've read that to be more qualified, you have to be given the opportunity to prove to be qualified. And I'm still hoping that somebody will hire me and will give me the opportunity to prove that I am qualified.
That's kind of hard, tired, and you don't know why. And you always, well, for me, I always want to write them back why I didn't get hired. Sure if you're supposed to do that, but because I think about that too. Like I wonder what made another person more qualified than me.
Yeah. It can be very frustrating. I've lost count how many job interviews I've had, and the only jobs that I can get is babysitting and cleaning for other people or friends and people in my state.
Yeah.
So it's overwhelming.
I can see how that's frustrating, and I think most of us have been turned out for a job before. But I don't know. Maybe we all see different things. But I think what he's saying in the question is more of a: do we hire the minority, or do we hire whoever's more qualified? Like if you had to pick, and he said yes. I think that means hire the right person for the team.
Yeah.
I don't think, and so I do agree with that approach, because you do see the differences, but you also have to understand that most companies are trying to gain a profit or better themselves. So I do agree with the answer. You hire the right person, and that might be vague, but at times it's maybe not the most qualified person. At times it's less qualified. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've been the less qualified person, but the better person for the job. And I've also hired person that are more qualified over diversity before. So I think I like his answer.
I don't think it would be fair if he chose the minority or a minority.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem right.
See that again?
Well, it also depends on the job as well. Because I took this one class and the teacher asked, would you hire somebody to be would you hire somebody off the street to be a doctor? Do you want somebody off the street to have your lives in their hands? So it really depends if you want a homeless guy to be your doctor and not the doctor that is qualified. So it really depends on the job.
I could see that. Corey, are you just showing off your whole house?
Like I'm in a new place every time.
Yeah.
Seen it all.
Well, you haven't showed your bedroom yet.
Do you want to move on to the next part?
Yeah.
Part 4. Yeah. Part 4. Question 1. Elder Barnard describes a church council. Does the word council he describes follow the integration promise? Explain. I've never been on a council, and I'm still in the singles ward, and I'm still young, and actually don't have a church calling. I haven't had a calling since June.
Are you calling us old because we're married?
Sorry. So I haven't been given the opportunity to be on a council, so I don't know how to answer that. So I'm gonna leave that up to you guys.
Well, when I was on the council with the 12.
I can start off if you want.
Okay.
I was just looking at the talk, and there was a point, and he said different backgrounds, and we bring to the council of the 12 apostles a diverse experiences in the church and in the world. So when they all get together, they have different thoughts, they come from different but their job to be respectful towards each other's opinions. They work together and try to figure out a solution, and in the end they all have to agree. I think if that into diversity in the work, we all kind of come together and what others' problems are, maybe with or any other types of we'd be able to accomplish much more, just like they do.
I think go ahead, Rachel, you're leading. So what do you want us to go next?
For question 1?
Whatever you want.
Or should
you decide. You're the boss of everybody.
Because I'm on top of this? Okay. Question 2. what are the advantages to a bishop of counseling with the elders quorum president, Relief Society president, primary president, and others? So I thought it was really funny at the part of the talk where he talked about a bishop in a council meeting and about relevance in the ward, and the primary president says, "It's you, Bishop." I thought that was really funny, and he was probably and it's just, I would say that having people with different backgrounds and having them in different permissions in the ward, that each of them interact with each group of people, so we could learn where the problems are, where the successes and stuff is, and how we can improve and find where the improvements are a success, so to keep the ward still flowing smoothly.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. I forgot. I need to send a text out for something else. So I'll be a little distracted. But as I do this, let me tell you, imagine how different it would be. We're talking about a ward council. There's Relief Society president, the Elders Quorum president, the Young Men president, the this and that and whatever presidents. Like, all presidents are there. And it's a little different. They'll come from different backgrounds. But imagine if every single one of those in the presidency came from your normal backgrounds, different jobs, different, obviously, genders. But what if each one of them came from a different country? How crazy would that be, right? Different points of views and ideas. And I think if you take that example, you can definitely see how extreme diversity can get you and help you grow more. I say that because it's interesting. I actually go to a war where every single one of the leaders is from a different country in a different period in their life. There's some that are very young, some that are very old, some that are in terms of meaning of the world, they're successful, and others that maybe not. Some of them are very strong in the gospel, and some of them are not. So it's pretty interesting to see how that diversity. Oh, what happened? That diversity helps the council move forward and the ward. So to answer that question too, I think it's very, very helpful to have diversity in anywhere that you see it. I was reading an article on hold on. The change, obviously, of the presidency has a new staff, a new cabinet, a new White House staff, and they were talking about how the last cabinet, the news felt like they were very diverse, and they feel like the new cabinet is maybe not as diverse. I don't know whether it's true, whether it's not, whether I agree or disagree, but it's interesting that we all see that. And I don't know how it's going to work. They say that in the last cabinet, they had people from a lot of different backgrounds and ethnicities, and in this cabinet, they don't. So I don't know. I believe that diversity is best, but this is kind of an example of the difference, I guess.
It's really hard to find the balance. A lot of, like, in the real world, there's probably there is more of a less, or there's too much. In the church, there is a balance.
Yeah. Okay, you want to go to the next question?
Yes. How could a bishop use the diversity of his council to help the ward? Corey, you've been quiet.
I guess off of what Deep said, diversity, I guess, to guess, and to see if they're working, just like the bunch of different places we are on this earth, and calls for even more diversity between just everything, and the church deals with it in a very good way. I think that it really does help us to get other perspectives.
Okay. Dee, do you have anything to add?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll move to the next question. Have you seen bishops or other church leaders do this? Okay, so everybody has to answer this question. Well, single words are always constantly changing, and I noticed that my just like reflecting on that talk, my board is really good at accepting change and letting the change run smoothly. Recently, we had a huge like stake change, the boundaries change. And so the two stakes, they combined their single words, and it been a smooth, very rare, rocky transition, and it's just everybody is just working together and I think they're all almost on the right page. I just see it just running smoothly.
Okay.
Who's next?
I definitely seen that bishop. I think I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen a bishop not do this, not to counsel, but I think I definitely have seen them. I think most of the time they do it. I've never seen a bishop not do it. Like I said, I think we've all had those stories, and we've heard of, oh, this bishop didn't take any advice from anybody; he just did it himself. But myself, I've always seen the opposite. Bishops counsel with their counsel and benefit from the diversity that they have, so they can take it back to the Lord, pray about it, and get an answer. Because inspiration, the key to inspiration is information, I believe. So gathering all that information, then he can have more inspiration.
It's the Lord's way. So if there are stories of people saying the bishop's doing it all itself, the Lord is not going the Lord's way. Corey?
Say that again.
The question?
Can you guys see me? Is it glitchy?
You're glitchy.
Okay.
Is that Rexburg internet?
Sadly, yes. Sorry, I lived in Rexburg for 6 months, so I've always had a hard time with internet and actual cell service.
What I could add is what you about the word, and I had a family board before when I was, and Chip got the establish the ward boundaries, and I didn't think about it at the time. He had to deal a lot of complaints about change and more diverse and being, and there were hates for some reason. It's hard to into any ward, even like deal with all of that, and like they handle those problems so well. Interesting to see that, like when like change, and I never really much he had to deal with.
Yeah, and we just never know or understand the bishop's role and all his responsibilities. We'll move on. Everybody has to do this. Part 5, which is wrap up. Question 1 is the Making Differences Matter article assumes that there is some value to companies in promoting a diverse workforce. Do you agree? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? It depends on the type of company, on their type of what their goals and mission is. All companies can benefit from it, but there's some companies that are not as flexible as other companies. Like retail is more flexible than engineering, I guess, because of the type of education that is really needed. And like a lot of companies do background checks, and certain companies need certain levels of background. I don't know if I'm even making sense, because I kind of don't make sense to myself.
No, I think you're doing good. I think you're doing really good. I do think that every company benefits and would benefit from diversity. And I think when we talk about diversity, it doesn't always have to be racial diversity. However, it's one of the main topics of conversation today. But there's many other types of diversity that a company would benefit from. And that's how things grow. From different backgrounds, different ideas. It's like having so I have a few tools that I use every now and then, but they all help me because they are all a little different. If I had a toolbox full of wrenches, there's only one job I would be able to do. Or if I had just a hammer, then that's all I would do, just nail things. But I think that's how a company is. It has those people that are hammers, and that's all they can do. They treat someone they treat you like a nail, but you also need someone that is more like a plier, that a little gentle. So that's why diversity comes in. I think it's like a toolbox. If you only have one of the same thing, then you're only going to be able to do one job.
Yeah. Corey?
For 19 years old, real job, and when I did my HR interview, I like my old work. Things that they probably should be doing. So I enjoyed my time working at that company. It was a diverse culture. However, able to have a meeting kind of like showed Kit in the workplace, because that was my first job, and I didn't know there were like what we're learning. I think all would kind of like have those
Corey, you froze.
I'm talking, but it's frozen.
Should we move on to the next question? Wrap it up?
Yes. Last question. What approach would you take to diversity as a manager? I would say listen and appreciate and accept others. Don't take them for granted.
Environment, be able to come if there was a problem, being colorblind and pushing it aside.
D?
I thought she was going to keep going. I was waiting. I think it's kind of the same answer I gave earlier. I would take an approach that diversity is a must, and you must have it in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you have a cult or things like that. I think at times, even us as LDS people get accused of not being diverse enough. It seems like our churches vary. Everyone is the same. Everyone looks the same. Speaking of diversity, it reminds me of the gym at BYUI. Did you ever go there, Rachel?
I didn't do anything.
Okay. How about you?
Haven't done
Corey,
anything.
have you been to the gym over at BYUI?
Corey.
I think she's browsing. Anyways, everyone looks the same. Everyone wears the same shirt, wears the same shorts. You walk in and you're like, what is going on here? Everyone has their uniform. And so comparing that to a company or managing, you don't want your firm to look that way, where you walk in and everyone looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
So diversity is definitely good. That's the approach I would take.
Rory.
Okay. Should I stop the feed now, the broadcast?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. And then we'll talk about what we're going to do next week.